محمد وعلى محمد بلندتر صلوات. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المبين: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ولما بلغ أشده واستوى آتيناه حكما وعلما وكذلك نجزي المحسنين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات. First and foremost, I would like to again extend my condolences to all of you on this tragedy that has taken place, and also congratulate you as well for the fact that such a personality, he attained Shahada. And inshallah, the path it continues, and we will follow the path of this great leader, inshallah. So we will continue, inshallah, with our theme of discussing the story of Prophet Musa, alayhi salam, and trying to take lessons from that story for ourselves, for our societies, our families. So inshallah, today what we'll talk about is Prophet Musa growing up in Fir'aun's court, his palace, inshallah. So if you remember our previous discussion, Prophet Musa, he was found by Fir'aun's people, by the wife of Fir'aun, and Fir'aun accepted to keep him and adopt him, basically. And then Prophet Musa would not accept anyone's milk, so then finally the mother of Prophet Musa, Prophet Musa accepted her milk, and we're told that Prophet Musa was actually given to her to take care of him in her own house. So when he grew up a little bit, perhaps about 2 years old, Lady Asiya went to Prophet Musa's house, and she brought Prophet Musa back to the palace. To do that, she made a whole celebration, and there was decorations and everything like that, and he was brought to the palace, and he was given to Fir'aun. Okay, the child was given to Fir'aun. So we're told that as soon as Prophet Musa, he saw Fir'aun, and he was perhaps in his lap, he grabbed his beard. And if you've seen how the Egyptians back in the day, they would have their beards, it would be like a thin, like funny beard that they would have. So we're told that Prophet Musa grabbed that beard and he pulled it all the way until Fir'aun's head was on the ground. Okay. So when everyone saw that, when Fir'aun himself saw that, when the people in the court, in the palace, they saw that, they were convinced that this child of Bani Israel, that he must be the one who is. We are therefore told that he will come and overthrow this government, and this is a sign that he will do this, right? So then they made the decision that they're gonna kill this baby. Okay. So at that time, Lady Asiya, we were told that this great lady, she intervenes again, and she tells them that, okay, no, it's a small child, he doesn't know what he's doing, and I'll prove it to you, right? So what she does is that we're told that they put a hot coal in front of him, and either gold or a date, right? So either one of those two, they put in front of Prophet Musa, and she says that, okay, if he picks the gold or the date, then we know that, okay, he has some kind of an intellect and he's understanding, and he pulled that beard because of his understanding. And if he takes the coal, then we know that, okay, he's just a child, he's just doing things. And children, sometimes they pull beards, sometimes they pull hair. Little children, they do that, okay? So then they brought these two things in front of Prophet Musa, and we're told that the angels directed his hand towards the coal. And this hot coal, Prophet Musa, he grabbed it, and he took it to his mouth, so he burned himself, basically his hands and his mouth as well. And later on, when we see that in the du'as that he make as well, that there was like a slight, slight accent, or he couldn't speak perfectly clearly. It wasn't very much, but they say that it's because of this coal that he had, and he put it in his mouth. It's because of that. Now, Prophet Musa, he's in the court, he's in the palace, and that's where he's growing up. And we're told that in this palace, there are some people who were believers in the one God, okay? But they were hiding their faith, they were hiding their belief. Now, some riwayat tell us that it was just two people who were believers. So it was Lady Asiya, and there was another person who it's narrated that he might have even been a prophet, okay? A prophet who was in hiding, who was not revealing his faith, but he was still, selected as a prophet from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that these people, it's also said that there were more people than this who were believers in the court. They were hiding in the court, and secretly they were trying to, help those who were oppressed. They were trying to, they would help the Bani Israel as well, and different things that they would do. Right? So there was a network of these believers in the one God, who were perhaps, people who were left over from Prophet Yusuf's time, right? That throughout time they had, kept their belief and faith. So they were in the court of the palace of Fir'aun. Now there are some things that they would do. So one thing that they would do is that they would inform the Bani Israel that if Fir'aun had taken a stand, or he had decided something against them, that these people would secretly inform them beforehand, so that the damage is limited. So they're prepared and they're not hurt as much. Another thing they would do is that they would try to secretly influence Fir'aun in a secret and stealthy way. They would try to influence Fir'aun and his decisions. Okay, and we see that with Lady Asiya, that it was a few times now that she has protected Prophet Musa, so she's influenced Fir'aun's decisions. Another thing that they would do is that they would try to become the teachers of the children who were, of the people of Fir'aun, that they would be the teachers of these children, so that they can influence them, make them, try to bring them towards Tawheed and the truth. And we're told that this prophet, whose name was Hazbil, that he was amongst the teachers of Prophet Musa as well, right? So he taught Prophet Musa when Prophet Musa was young. And that they would try to help the oppressed secretly. And we see that in Prophet Musa's life as well, that the position that Prophet Musa had, he also used that to help the oppressed people in society, the Bani Israel, and the other oppressed people as well in society. Okay. So now Prophet Musa, he is at that time called Musa ibn Fir'aun, right? So he's the adopted son of Fir'aun. He is the next one in line after Fir'aun to become the Fir'aun, okay? He become the leader of Egypt. So somebody who is, going to take up that position, they get trained for that as well. So he was trained as a fighter, right? He was trained to basically in military, right? So he was a very good general as well. And he was also a judge later on, that he became a judge as well, and he would judge between people because of his, fairness, because of his knowledge, because of his judgment. Now Prophet Musa, throughout this time, especially when he became a bit older, he used to worship Allah, right? So he was, somebody who was going to be a prophet, and he was somebody who was selected by Allah. So he was not somebody who was a polytheist at all in his life, right? So he would worship Allah, but he would do so secretly. So he had a special room for himself, and nobody was allowed to enter that room except for him. So he would go there and he would worship Allah by himself. We were also told that he would go in the mountains. So he would go in the morning, for example, for a hike to exercise, and in the mountains he would worship Allah secretly. He followed the Hanif religion, right? So he was somebody who followed the religion of Prophet Ibrahim, the Sharia of Prophet Ibrahim. Okay, and we're told that even in Mecca, before the Prophet ﷺ, he was selected to be a prophet. He was given the Sharia. That the muwahideen, the people who were muwahid, like Lady Khadija herself, like Hazrat Abu Talib, the Prophet himself, his family, that they would follow this Hanif religion. They were Hunafa, the religion of Prophet Ibrahim.